Have you ever finished your PTE reading section feeling confident, but your score didn't reflect it? There is one question type that silently controls a huge portion of your reading score, and most students struggle in it. That question type is fill in the blanks dropdown. If you master this properly, your reading score becomes stable. If you ignore it, your score becomes unpredictable. So today, let's fix that. Good day everyone, this is Rashid and welcome back to ACE Language. I am a Pearson certified professional PT trainer and the founder of ACE Language. I have been teaching PTE since 2015, and over the years I have helped thousands of students achieve their required PTE score for study, work, and permanent residency. If you are preparing for PTE Academic and targeting proficient or superior PTE score for your PR application to secure 10 or 20 PR points, this video is extremely important for you. In this video, I will explain how this question type, that is fill in the blanks drop-down, works, how much it contributes to your score, and the exact strategy you should follow, and then I will demonstrate some real exam style questions slowly so you can exactly see how I analyze and eliminate options and eventually get my right answers correctly. Fill in the blanks drop-down appears in the reading section. It is the first question type of your PTE reading module. You will usually get 5 to 6 questions. Each passage is around 100 to 200 words long. Inside each passage, you will see 4 to 5 blanks. Each blank has 4 options in a drop-down menu, and you must select the correct one. You receive 1 mark for each correct blank, and there is no negative marking in this question type. According to the official PTE Academic Score Guide, this question type contributes only to reading and carries significant weight, around 25% to be precise, of your reading score, and about 7% of your overall PTE score comes from this question type. So this is not a small question type. It matters. You should not spend more than 1 minute 45 seconds to 2 minutes and 15 seconds in each question. If you overspend time here, you will suffer and reorder paragraph and fill in the blanks and drag and drop. And those are also heavily weighted. Time discipline here directly protects your reading score. Quite often, test takers misunderstand this question type. They think they need advanced level grammatical knowledge to ace this question type. Grammar will not save you here because most options belong to the same grammatical group. They may be all verbs or all nouns or adjectives. For example, look at the sentence with the blanks and 4 options on the screen for that blank. The sentence is, when estimating how much a company is worth financially, the book value is the term used to talk about a company's physical dash. The possessions such as buildings that a company could sell. Options are assets, credits, strengths, and factors. All 4 options here are nouns. That means you cannot really eliminate any of the options based on your grammatical necessity. So, grammar elimination usually doesn't work. This is mainly about meaning and natural word combinations in academic English. However, if you missed our grammar masterclass where I explained how grammar can be strategically used to solve fill in the blanks drag and drop, then make sure you watch that video I'm putting the link up there and also in the description. As grammar doesn't work, the question is, what works? This question type tests three major skills. First one is your understanding of the text or context. What does that mean by understanding the meaning of the sentence by reading it, reading around the blanks? This also means whether you can identify the clues that can lead you to find out the right options. If we take the same example we used earlier, when estimated how much a company is worth financially, the book value is the term used to talk about a company's physical dash. The possessions such as buildings that a company could sell, options, assets, credits, strengths, and factors. In this sentence, it is clear that the sentence is talking about value that is measurable in the book by the word book value. And after the comma, word like possessions was used, which means owning something. And also, another clue here is something that can be sold. And thus, out of the options, credits do not work because it is used in case of borrowing power. Although strength matches, but physical strength means the ability to exert force, which doesn't fit the criteria of value or possession or sell. Factors mean something that can influence an outcome or result. So, by analyzing the sentence, it is clear that the answer here is asset, as it is directly related to book value, possession, and sell. Second skill that you need is vocabulary skill, or understanding the meaning of the words. This includes understanding the subtle differences of usage between the similar words, or in other words known as semantics. For instance, look at the sentence on the screen. Conversely, shareholders care most about market value, which is almost nothing to do with concrete objects. This relates to the dash a company has to generate profit. And the options for the blank is propensity, possibility, potential, and prospect. At first glance, except for propensity, all other options, possibility, potential, and prospect, look similar in meaning. But if we look at the subtle nuances and subtleties in the meaning of each word, we will find out the differences. Possibility is something that may happen. Potential is the capacity to develop or succeed. That means you have the ability. And prospect means the likelihood of a future event, anything. As shareholders do not worry much about market value or concrete object, what do they value? Why will they invest? If you are a shareholder, what would you invest in or what would you look for? Of course, you will look for a future success, am I right? That means my answer in this case will be potential, not possibility or prospect, because that means my possibility or the potential of succeeding something, achieving something in the future. And the last skill is collocation, meaning which words sit naturally together. If you go to the link of that grammar video I discussed earlier, you will find that I also discussed about collocation in that same video. Let's see how collocation can help us solve our problems. Look at the sentence on the screen. An information-rich company may have almost no book value, but could yet be very attractive to investors who appreciate its dash qualities. Options are untouchable, immaterial, unidentifiable, intangible. As this sentence indicates that information-rich companies do not have book value or may not have book value, that means the value they have is not concrete or material or physical. From that point of view, both untouchable and intangible make sense in this case. However, assets that are not physical have a specific name or term, and they have a specific quality, and that is intangible. That means a characteristic, feature, or benefit that exists but cannot be physically touched or measured or easily defined. Hence, by the very virtue of collocation and the meaning, the answer here is intangible. So, to succeed in fill in the blanks drop down, you need to follow your time limit to the T. First, quickly skim the passage to understand the general topic and spend no more than 30 seconds in it. Do not read thoroughly, just identify what the topic is. Second, go directly to the sentence with the blank and read it carefully. Third, open the drop down and eliminate options by meaning and collocations. Ask yourself whether the word logically fits and whether it sounds natural in academic English. Fourth, if the sentence is unclear, read one sentence before or after to clarify the context. Do not read the entire passage slowly unless absolutely necessary. Also, do not read too slow and do not keep changing your answers because of self-doubt. Do not guess without understanding the context. And please do not rely on grammar. This is a primarily vocabulary, context, and collocation test, not a grammar test. Now, I will demonstrate some real exam style questions. I will go slow and show you exactly how I analyze the sentence and eliminate wrong answers and choose the correct one. Focus on my thinking process because that is what will improve your accuracy in the real exam. Now, let's look at the first example that we are going to analyze and do together today. Before you begin, remember our strategies. First, we will spend around 30 seconds to quickly look at the text and understand what kind of text it is and what is the main topic of it, because that will help us with our collocation and vocabulary, right? So let's take around 10 seconds to look at 30 seconds, my bad, to find out the main idea or topic of this particular passage. Your 30 seconds start now. So your 30 seconds is up. What do you think was the main topic? In my opinion, the main topic was meditation app and how they compare to traditional live meditation practices. That's my understanding. You may have a slightly different understanding, but here, main topic or main theme cannot be ignored. That is the use of meditation apps, right? Now, I will spend a bit longer time than usual in your exam for analyzing each of the blanks and identifying which options cannot be considered and which option should be my answer. Remember, in your exam, you should not take more than 1 minute 45 seconds to 2 minute 15 seconds for each fill in the blanks drop down question type. Now, if you have already taken 30 seconds like me to understand the topic by skimming and scanning it, that means you have only about 1 minute 15 seconds to 1 minute 45 seconds to answer each question like this one, right? So let's jump into it. But before I do, I would like to tell you about one thing. In order to do well in fill in the blanks drop down, you need to build up your vocabulary. Quite often, students ask me, hey, can I get a list of vocabularies? To be really honest, there is no such list that can help you build your vocabulary overnight, and there is no such trick that I can teach you. But what I do, whenever I do any fill in the blanks drop down or fill in the blanks drag and drop, I list all the options in this in our table, in this kind of table, where I keep the main word and find out its core meaning and relevant collocations, as well as meaning of that collocation, like that you can see on the screen. Now you can follow this way, you can follow any other way, but whatever you do, make sure you make a habit of learning some new vocabularies every day. There is no alternative to it, right? Now let's jump into answering this question. When I do that, I'll first read the first sentence because that always gives me the main story, right? Meditation is originally a Buddhist practice. I understand it's about meditation. For it to be effective, a person is required to clear their mind and concentrate on the dash moment rather than thinking about the tasks that were neglected yesterday or assignments that are due in tomorrow. So if I don't focus on yesterday and don't focus on tomorrow, where do I focus on? I focus on today. That is the moment that I am in now. So here my clues are yesterday and tomorrow. And that tells me my answer. Obviously, definite cannot be my option, right? Recent can be a thing that you can think of, but recent doesn't mean that something we're doing now. Recent means something that happened just right now, recently. Instant is something that happens on the instant, but not necessarily continuously. So my answer here will be current. Why? Current means something that is happening now. Remember, I'm doing meditation now and I want to make it effective, right? So my answer here is current. Now let's move to the next sentence. It says, this can be a constant struggle in today's society, and one of the things that may sound obvious to avoid whilst meditating is dash at a screen of any kind. So it is saying in today's society, it's very difficult, right, to keep your concentration only on the current situation. And one of the thing is to avoid during meditation is dash at a screen. That means we are talking about mobile phone or apps or something like that. So I cannot say looked or look. Like look, having looked is not going to be an option because I have is before it. I can use looked, I can use looking, but in this case, because I'm talking about present, right? Remember, I'm trying to make meditation effective right now and I'm in current. So my answer needs to be here is looking rather than looked. My answer is looking. Next one is, so I'm going straight to the sentence itself. These apps promise to do everything. Now I have a problem here. I'm saying these apps. What apps? I really don't know. So that means I need to read the sentence before it. However, it is not possible whilst using a meditation app. That is the app, right? These apps promise to do everything that live meditation can do, including helping people to focus and reduce stress levels. Many provide the guidance for meditation dash background music. So I'm talking about apps that help me in meditation and they provide me guidance. So here, keyword here is guidance. And what happens with guidance? See the word I'm using, with guidance. If I use as follows, that means after. That means after guidance, some background music plays. No, but I'm doing the meditation now, right? On account of doesn't really fit here. On behalf of means to do for someone else, right? Now, this app is not going to give me guidance and do on my behalf anything, right? So the answer here is along with. That means I am doing meditation by using the app. Currently, it is providing me guidance as well as giving me background music to concentrate. Hope that makes sense, right? The next one is I'm ignoring everything. I'm going directly to the last sentence. However, in today's increasingly online world, the opportunity to reduce stress as it is dash could outweigh any downside. The opportunity to reduce stress, that means that stress is already there, right? Here, the keyword is reduce stress, but we are also saying the opportunity to reduce as it is. We are in present, right? That means we need to think about that it is already there. It is there and it's going up. It's going up, but it is an opportunity to reduce it and it's good. So if it is going up, if I look at the options, turning on doesn't make sense here at all. Growing up means to grow something, not going up, right? Growing, it is mostly associated with from childhood to adulthood, or passing each stages of ages. Getting on doesn't make sense. Obviously here the option is building up, because building up means increasing over time. Now think about it. If my stress is already there and I want to reduce it, obviously why do I want to reduce it? Because it is growing or it is increasing every day. So my answer here is building up. And that's it. That's my first question. Now let's go to the next one. And this time again, take around 30 seconds and analyze this question. It's your turn. You do it all by yourself. Keep it in your mind. I will also do it and keep it in my mind. Now that you have seen how I analyze, eliminate, and choose right answers, it is your turn that you try the next one. To do that, you have 2 minutes, 15 seconds. And after 2 minutes, 15 seconds, I will again demonstrate how I will choose answers for this particular question. Your time starts now. Now, have you got all the answers correct? let's get your pen and paper ready and find out all the right options. If we quickly skim and scan this particular question type, we can see the battle between the printed newspapers, that is the traditional newspapers, and the new digital world, right? Now, the first sentence says, in today's digitally driven world, printed newspapers are under threat, okay? One of the reasons for this is that these days, anyone can dash a commentary on anything online. So, printed newspapers are under threat. Why? Because anyone can do anything online. What do they do? Detail doesn't make sense here at all. Hold also doesn't make sense. You can have provide or suggest. Now, you do not normally suggest a commentary, right? You do a commentary, right? You don't suggest a commentary. That means we are talking about, our answer here will be actually provide. Anyone can provide a commentary. Think about it. Can I write anything that I want to write on Facebook? Yes, technically I can. So my answer here will be to provide commentary, provide a commentary. So answer here is provide. The next sentence says, whether or not these stories are accurate or fake doesn't seem to dash many to many people. So why it is happening? Because many people these days do not care about whether it is genuine or fake, right? They just want to believe it, right? So care is the one that comes in our mind. So of course you cannot have concern here because, think about it, to concern too many people. No, it doesn't make sense. To value too many people doesn't make sense. It could have been influence to influence, but if I want to use influence, after that I cannot really use to, so it is not my answer. Doesn't seem to matter to many people. That means for a lot of people it doesn't matter. Remember I said, a moment ago, they don't care. That comes to this particular word, matter. Matter to goes together. So the answer here is matter. Right. Next one is, however, this is not a sector that newspapers dash in. So the changes are proving difficult. So I really don't understand the sentence just by reading this sentence. What should I do then? I should read the sentence before that I skipped. Print news is trying to combat this by doing things like making a story shorter and using the very thing that is causing their problem, social media. However, this is not a sector that newspapers dash in, so the changes are proving difficult. So if I look at it, look at the options here, grammar will play a bit of role. I cannot say has. I mean, first of all, newspapers, it's plural. I cannot have has. Has experience. Doesn't make sense. If I use has, it should be experienced. But in this case, as I have in after that, I can also use experience. Don't get me wrong. Are experiencing in, think about it. Can I say that? Yes, newspapers are experiencing, but after experiencing, I cannot really use the word in, right? And more importantly, this is not an active voice. This is a passive voice, right? So have experienced in, again, after have experienced, in doesn't really fit there. Here, the answer is are experienced in. Newspapers are experienced in, right? The grammatically, like has experienced doesn't make sense. Are experiencing doesn't make sense. Have experienced, even though it makes sense, but with that, I cannot really use in afterwards. So my answer here is are experienced in. Now I'm going to the next one. Next one again says dash, the popularity of the printing press declines, funding decreases, and the options for turning the situation around are reduced. So something happens because of something. So there is a cause and effect thing. I'm saying popularity of printing press declines. So if I just say things like that, popularity of printing press declines here, declines, funding decreases, funding decreases. That means if the popularity declines, funding also decreases. So I cannot really use unless or although. It doesn't make sense at all. Okay, sorry. So I cannot use unless. I cannot also use although, because although means contrast and unless means if it doesn't happen, right? So my answer can be since or as. Both of them make sense. But since normally is used when we have time issue, number one. Number two, we can also use since without time, but that means something finishes, something else happens, right? Cause finishes, effect happens. However, with as, things happen simultaneously. Think about it. It's not that my popularity declines first, then my income declines. My popularity and income decline side by side, together, simultaneously. So the answer here is as. So there you go. There are your four answers. First one is provide, second one is matter, third one is are experienced, and fourth one is as. I hope I made myself clear. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 3 questions after that. For each question, you are going to spend 2 minutes 15 seconds and the timer will be counted down on the screen. And once that is done, once you are done with your answer, simply comment on the comment section and I will provide you the answers. So I hope now you understand how you should approach this question type. Once again, without proper practice, this is not a question type where you will improve quickly. Before I wrap it up today, I have two suggestions for you when you are preparing for your fill in the blanks drop down. First one is the issue of vocabulary. There are no alternatives to build up your vocabulary to succeed in this question type. But I must also admit that there is no one single method that works universally to build up your vocabulary. For me, creating a semantic mapping works nicely. What is semantic mapping? Semantic mapping is a visual strategy used to build vocabulary by graphically representing the relationships between words and concepts. Instead of learning a word's definition in isolation, learners create a web or map that links a central word to related terms, categories, and personal experiences. Just like you can see on the screen now. Are you wondering how to implement semantic mapping? First, select a word. Choose a key term from a text or a specific topic of a study. Then brainstorm. List all words you associate with the core concept. You can definitely take help from dictionary and AI tools in this stage. Next step is to categorize, group the brainstorm words into meaningful categories. In the next step, create the map. Graphically represent these connections using a template or freehand drawing. And at the end, refine and expand. Revisit the map after reading or further study to add new information or correct misconceptions. I found this strategy really helpful. And before I took my first exam in 2015, I used to spend around 30 minutes each day to use this method to build up my vocabulary. You can give it a go and try whether it works well for you. Next thing I would like to draw your attention to is gradually improving your time management. You should first answer one question with maximum time. You should take your time to analyze the question and find out the meaning of the unknown words. Whatever time you take, that will be your baseline. Then try to reduce this time by 5 seconds each day till you can complete each FIB dropdown within 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So, let me quickly recap what we learned today. You will get 5 to 6 questions of FIB dropdown. Each question has multiple blanks. You receive partial credits. It contributes heavily to your reading score. You must control your time and you must master vocabulary, collocation, and context. If you can strengthen these three areas, this question type becomes predictable and manageable. If you want structured preparation instead of random practice, at Ace Language, we offer 2 weeks intensive crash courses, 1 month and 2 month full-length programs or elaborate programs, and one-on-one coaching for students targeting higher superior scores. We do not just teach shortcuts, we teach analysis, structure, and exam psychology. If you are in Bangladesh, contact us at 018899829112. If you are in Australia, you can contact us in 0456 446 963 or simply email us at info@acepte.com.au. If this video helped you, please like the video, comment your target score below, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Because on this channel, we are helping you securing your PTE score in 2026. I will see you in the next video and happy practicing.